Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Shazman and I will cover introduction part. Oil and gas are major industries in the energy market and play as an influential role in the global economy as the world's primary fuel resources. The process and the system involved in producing and distributing oil and gas are highly complex, capital intensive, requires state-of-the-art technology. Historically, natural gas has been linked to oil mainly because of the production process or upstream side of the business. For much of the history of the industry, natural gas was viewed as a nuisance and even today is flared in large quantities in some part of the world, including Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aish Daniel bin Azizul Azman. For me, this presentation is to cover about the objective of the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. Okay, we have 4 objectives. Okay, as for the first one, identify all the hazard occur on the Deepwater Horizon oil spill and briefly explain it. The second objective is to point out the cause of the Deepwater Horizon oil spill and how it happened. As for the third objective is what's the impact that the company get after the accident happened. And for our last objective is what's the company action and how to prevent from the accident happens again.
While conducting this project, we utilize Microsoft Word, Google, and ChatGPT for information gathering. To ensure the authenticity of collected data, we focus on obtaining official report, document, and publication related to the Deepwater Horizon issue. Additionally, we incorporated inspection reports into our analysis by acquire and analysis OSHA official incident reports, focusing on violation, situation, and recommendation. We also obtain document detailing OSHA regulation applicable to offshore drilling site and emphasizing safety compliance.
For the case summary, the explosion on 20 April 2010 on the Deepwater Horizon oil rig, which is situated in the Gulf of Mexico, about 41 miles or 66 kilometers off the coast of Louisiana, causes the greatest marine oil spill in history. It is leased by the oil corporation BP and owned and run by the offshore drilling business Transocean. On the night of 20 April, it was blast of the natural gas to concrete core. The high pressure pipe is used to counter the flow. After the natural gas released from the fracture of the core, it is raised to the platform and ignite and create a great explosion that killed 11 and injured 17 workers. The oil was discharged the Gulf and the volume of oil is estimated more than 60,000 barrels to towed by US government. Bankston supply ship Diamond B that's tied up along Deepwater Horizon reports drilling fluid spill on its deck and moved back 500 meters from the rig. At April 28, the first controlled burn of floating oil take place fishery closure in state waters are announced. BP tried to stop the leak with top kill and junk shot, but it failed. On 15 July, the leaking well is finally capped and marking the end of the uncontrolled flow of oil. The BP company has reached various settlement with US government and Gulf Coast state that 20 billion of fine and penalties.
So, for the root cause analysis, we use two methods, fishbone diagram and YY analysis. For the fishbone diagram, we have 5 main cause. Is it manpower, method for process, material equipment, measurement equipment, and environment. So, for manpower, it because inadequate training of personnel and lack of a comprehensive trainer. And then for the method process is because failure to follow the best practices, and then flow well design and drilling practice. And then material equipment, it's happened because mechanical failure in the blowout preventer and poor maintenance in the mechanical part. And then measurement equipment, it is because inadequate monitoring of well condition and lack of time monitoring system. And then for environment, they have lack of contingency and harsh weather condition. This all will cause a deep water horizon oil spill. And then for the YY analysis, we have 5 causes for deep water horizon or spill. For YY analysis, we have 5 factors for deeper horizon or spill. For the first factor is inadequate training of personnel. For first Y is lack of investment, and the second Y is failure to prioritize safety. And then for the second factor is flow well design and drilling practices. For the first one is inefficient risk assessment in planning phase, and then for the second one is lack of industry standard. And then for the third factor is mechanical failure in the blowout preventer. For the first one is lack of regular inspection to the machine at the place. And then for the second one is cost cutting measure compromising equipment integrity. And then for the fourth factor is inadequate monitoring of well condition. For the first one, for this factor is lack of real-time monitoring system, and for the second, failure to invest in advanced monitoring technology. For the fifth factor is harsh weather condition. Why? Because inefficient preparation for adverse weather event. And then for second one is lack of comprehensive contingency planning. That's all from me. We go to the next part.
It's been about 4.3, that is list of all hazard and risk factors. Okay, for this accident or our project, we discovered that the hazard that we discovered 4 type of hazard: fire hazard, mechanical hazard, chemical hazard, and ergonomic hazard. Okay, as for the fire hazard, the primary cause was a blowout, which occurs when the pressure of the oil and gas become uncontrolled. In that case, the oil and the gas cause gas leak to the outer space, and this cause a gas leak to the air and make contact with heat and ignite the oil ring under the immediate response efforts. As for the second hazard is the mechanical hazard. Okay, mechanical hazard, lots of there was 2 mechanical hazard that we found. Okay, loss of control in the oil rig, primary mechanical failure, loss of control over well pressure, the unsuspected and uncontrolled surge of oil gas from the well reservoir overwhelmed the safety mechanism, lead to the explosion of the rig. Okay, the second one is the blowout of preventer, on short form BOP, the failure of the BOP. Okay, the BOP is the critical piece safety equipment designed to seal the well emergenciness. the BOP failed to active properly when the blowout occurred to the blowout. Okay, as for the third hazard is the chemical hazard. Okay, crude oil toxicity in the oil rig. This chemical really flammable, can cause a serious wildfire. Crude oil contains various toxic compounds including hydrocarbons, benzene, toluene, and ethyl benzene and saline. Exposed to this hazard in this project is ergonomic hazard. Okay, the physical strain and overexertion. Cleanup workers face physical demanding tasks such as deploying and handling heavy booms, lifting equipment, and manual labor involved in cleanup operation. Alright, prolonged and repetitive action led to the physical strain, increasing the risk of musculoskeletal injuries, awkward postures, and work positions. Reading. The second one is complex engineering. The third one is human error. The fourth one is pressure to expedite operation. The fifth one is ineffective risk assessment. The sixth one is inadequate training and communication. And the last one is environmental condition. Okay.
Assalamualaikum, and I will cover 4 and 4.4 direct and indirect impact of the accident. For the individual or workers, the direct impact is tragically 11 workers lost their life in the initial explosion and fire on the Deepwater Horizon rig. For the indirect impact, the surviving workers face physical and mental health challenge, including exposure to toxic substance and the trauma of the incidents. For the second part is company, which is BP. The direct impact is BP face substantial financial losses, including cleanup costs, legal statement, and damage to its reputation. For the indirect impact, the incident led to increased scrutiny of BP's safety practices, regulatory chances, and shift in public perception towards the company. For the third point is community. The direct impact is the coastal communities experience damage to local economies, particularly those dependent on fishing and tourism. Loss of livelihood was significant. And the indirect impact is social and psychological impact were felt as communities struggle with the aftermath, including stress, anxiety, and long-term economic challenge. For the fourth point is country, which is United States. The direct impact is the US government incurred significant cost in responding to the spill, both of the term of immediate cleanup effort and long-term restoration projects. For the indirect impact, the incident prompted change in offshore drilling regulation, increased oversight of the oil and gas industry, and re-evaluation of environmental policies. For the last point is environment. The direct impact is the spill result in extensive damage to marine and coastal ecosystem, including the death of marine life, destruction of habitats, and long-term ecological effects. For the indirect impact, the spill prompted discussion on the environmental risks associated with deepwater drilling, leading to increased focus on sustainable and environment-friendly practices. That's all from me. Thank you. And I will pass to the next representative.
Next, we move to 4.5 OSH-related legislation. I have listed all the law that may relate with Deepwater Horizon oil spill incident. I'm also have divided into two parts, which is first, law that relate with root cause analysis Deepwater Horizon oil spill, and the second one is law listed based on list of hazard and risk factors, which is 4.3. Now we talk about 4.2 first. Firstly, manpower, inadequate training. What is the law that involved in this incident is Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, OSHA 1994. And the second one is Factories and Machinery Act 1967, FMA 1967. Next, which is measurement equipment, lack of real-time monitoring. The law is Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, OSHA 1994. And the second one is Petroleum Regulations 1974, Amendment 2011. Number 3 is method, processes, which is failure to follow best practices. The relevant legislation is Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, OSHA 1994, and Petroleum Regulations 1974, Amendment 2011.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Irfan bin Muhammad Yudan, and I want to present about prevention and control measures. Okay, hierarchy of control is a systematic approach to managing risk and preventing accidents. It consists of different levels: elimination, substitution, engineering controls, administrative controls, and personal protective equipment (PPE). Okay, let's address prevention measures related to identify causes and discuss post-accident control measures. For the first one, identify causes. Human error, implement training programs to enhance skills, awareness, and vigilance among employees. Regular safety briefings and workshops can help reinforce safe practices. Okay, equipment failure. Schedule routine maintenance and inspection for all machinery and equipment. Ensure proper training for equipment operation and have protocols for reporting malfunction immediately. Okay, unsafe work environment. Regularly assesses the work environment for hazards. Encourage reporting of unsafe conditions and promptly address them. Lack of procedures or policies. Develop and enforce standard operating procedures (SOPs) for various tasks. Ensure these are easily accessible and regularly updated. Okay, for the second one is prevention measures using hierarchy of control. For the first one, elimination substitution. Consider replacing hazardous materials or processes with safer alternatives. If possible, eliminate the need for risky activities altogether. Engineering controls. Install safety guards and machinery, improve ventilation system, or automate processes for reduce human interaction with hazards. Administrative controls. Develop clear protocols for task execution. Provide adequate signage and establish an incident reporting system. Rotating employees in high-risk jobs to prevent fatigue and complacency. Personal protective equipment (PPE). Ensure proper availability and use of PPE relevant to the job tasks. Conduct regularly checks to confirm that employees are using PPE correctly. Okay, last but not least, for the third point is post-accident control measures. Immediate response, attend to injured individuals promptly, securing the area to prevent further harm, activate emergency medical services if necessary. Okay, investigation. Conduct a thorough investigation to determine the root cause of the accidents. Analyze the incident to prevent similar occurrence in the future. Implement corrective action. Based on the investigation, implement necessary change in procedures, training, or equipment to prevent similar accidents. Supports and counseling. Provide support and counseling for affected employees. Create an environment where reporting incidents or near misses is encouraged without fear of repercussions. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ahmad Zakmuzi and I will continue for the conclusion. To sum up, the 2010 Deepwater Horizon oil disaster in the Gulf of Mexico is a sobering reminder of the terrible outcome that can result from a technology malfunction, inadequate safety protocol, and environmental hazard in the offshore oil and gas sector. The event brought awareness in emergency response planning, risk management, and regular supervision. Performing comprehensive risk assessment, maintaining and testing technology protection to ensure the dependability, and fortifying legislative framework to ensure strict safety requirements are just a few. Next, one important lesson was the need to prioritize environmental stewardship with cutting-edge technology for oil spill response and containment, as well as adequate emergency response preparedness, which include well-defined plans and frequent drills. The event made clear how important it is for the government, environmental organization, and industry stakeholders to work together to share the best practice, information, and dedication to safety in order to secure the safe and sustainable exploitation of energy resources in the future. The Deepwater Horizon accident ultimately calls for a fundamental transformation in the industry approach, creating a culture of accountability, creativity, and teamwork. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, this is our appendix. Here are some photos about how Deepwater Horizon oil spill can cause explosion and cause water pollution and kill life in the sea. We also get some cutting article. For example, by Britannica, the Deepwater Horizon, owned and operated by offshore oil drilling company Transocean and leased by oil company BP, was situated in the Macondo oil prospect in the Mississippi Canyon. Then, also by National Geographic, which is the spill opened many people's eyes to the risk of drilling for oil in one of the most illogical, rich, culturally important, and economically valuable parts.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Ahmad Syafwan Hakimi bin Shamlan. My metric number is RM22235. For this presentation, I will continue with my part for the reference. For the reference, we can gain all this reference from the internet. We have a National Geographic, Britannica, and Enforcement. All of this, we are described about the accident that happened when Deepwater Horizon oil spill into the sea and can cause explosion. From the article, we can learn another fact that can cause the accident. Also had to learn on how to avoid anything of bad thing that can happen, and there also many of source that we can gain about the accident. Thank you.